It is an absolutely immaculate fall day in Shirley, Massachusetts today. And I have one more tournament left for this season on Sunday, but my time here spent at home so far has been nothing short of amazing. I just love being home, love not having to drive long distances and tournament after tournament, weekend after weekend, after doing it for basically 30 weeks in a row. Now I get to look back on everything and reflect. So today I'm going to run through 5 holes at my course here, Ryder Ridge, and we are going to highlight my top 5 highlights of 2023. So the 2023 season, coming off of 2022, I knew that it would be really easy for me to improve. Considering 2022, I had like a okay start, a really bad middle, and a decent finish to the season. I actually started the season my absolute worst, like Vegas and Waco back to back. I was out of my mind at how bad I played. Things came together, and down the stretch, I found myself in some situations that I was pretty proud of myself for, I don't know, the way I played, or just the simplest thing is choosing a tournament to play instead of maybe doing something else. Oh, tree direct. Oh, hit the pole, first shot. All right. One of the decisions I'm very happy I made was going to Minnesota to play the Majestic after the Portland Open. Trevin and I booked it from Portland all the way to Minneapolis to hang out with our buddy Carson Lewis to play the Majestic. Once again, I hadn't played it since 2021, and my best finish there was probably whatever I got in 2021, probably like maybe top 20, probably like 19th or something like that. Oh, buddy. Well, I'm gonna blame that one on the train. That being said, the Majestic was one of the first tournaments I traveled to after I graduated high school. Marky Chap and I went out together and we both cashed. And it was our first time cashing on the road. It was really special. The Majestic has a lot of history, and it's just one of those events that I have always held a high prestige of. Ooh, it's far. Deep. This year, different story. 2 rounds 27 at Blue Ribbon Pines. Very familiar course to me. Going down the stretch with none other than Cale LaVisca, freaking Mr. Minnesota himself. And I have to say that a lot of people there were watching, and not a lot of people wanted Casey White to win. They were all pulling for their hometown boy, Cale. And I took it to Cale. I brought him all the way down to the last hole, hole 27, the island hole. I was actually winning the tournament with 3 to go, and Cale made a nice putt on 25. I missed the putt on 26 for birdie, so then he went up 1 with 1 to go, and I missed the island. Missing the island doesn't really capture the context of what it meant to me to be there that weekend. Oh, I could do it. Maybe. Oh, chain high. No, but I am proud of myself for going down the stretch with Cale at the Majestic. The Majestic has so much history behind it, and getting that win would have meant so much to me. But still, the fact that I was able to pull off second place is something to be proud of. And it was just an overall awesome weekend. Shout out to Daniel Miley that weekend. He took my van in while I flew home for Brewster Ridge Open, and he fixed up my van for me while I was gone. But all in all, the Majestic weekend, that's number 5. Probably know this hole if you've seen me play my course before. Uphill, about 200. I'm going Fiend. Oh, got lucky? Oh yeah, got a good kick. Oh, big skip too. That leads us to number 4 on the list, which is the MVP Open, specifically my finish at the MVP Open, but just the MVP Open as a whole. And with it being my hometown Pro Tour, it really doesn't take much for MVP Open to be one of my favorite tournaments of the year. Go in the basket. What? I've never aced this hole before, and that just went right over the top. I can't believe it. This year was the first time we played 4 rounds at Maple Hill since 2017, my first ever Pro Tour of 2017 Vibram Open. And it was a grind, you know, it was tough conditions. I put together a 2 under, an even, and then the final round I was scraping by. Things weren't working out for me, and I felt like the round was kind of getting the best of me. Oh, I yanked that one, but they're all getting through. hopefully not to lost disc land. I had 2 holes to play, and my caddy Bob Miller asked me if I wanted to know the scores. I told him yes, and he said birdie birdie puts you in the cash. And I brought that mentality of not wanting to feel the way I felt at the Majestic after I lost by missing the island and not even putting any pressure on Cale. I just remembered that feeling, how I felt those days after the Majestic, saying you don't want to feel that way again, which basically was I didn't seize the opportunity. And now that I know that I have an opportunity, it's time to play my best. I went birdie on 17, and then 18 I had the standard 330-foot upshot that you get from a good drive. And what I did at the Majestic was I didn't commit to my forehand on the island shot. So I told myself, no matter what, I had my Huck Lab PD2, no matter what, commit to this with everything you have. And I smoked that thing, and I started screaming at the gallery before it even hit the green. I hit the basket. I almost went in for 2. And I got the birdie, and I got the cash. And then I just felt very, very fulfilled. I mean, I got 25th, and that's cool, but that's not really the coolest part. My man, Matty O, taking down his first Pro Tour win. He stayed at my house for 2 weeks before it happened. We stayed together at Smugs for Worlds the week before, so 3 weeks basically living with Matty O, us and the homies, Trevin, Donnie, everybody, the whole crew. And it was really special. It was a really special time, and I'm so proud of Matty, and I cried a lot, but great job. We call him Birdo, Birdo. All right, hole 3, and that leaves us with season highlight number 3, which was the European Open. Turn. What's up there? And if you guys follow my finishes closely, you might be saying, Casey, you got like 100th place at European Open. How could that possibly be a season highlight? But that is exactly it. Because the European Open was the time of my life. I had a great week with Avery Jenkins, Kyle Klein, Cynthia, Eagle, Gavin Babcock, Adam Hammis, AB. We had a freaking party, went out to the bar. We played some freaking amazing Finnish courses, met a lot of new Finnish friends, and it truly was a once-in-a-lifetime experience. No, not the first tree, come on. But yeah, I mean, I knew that Finland was gonna be cool, but you never know until you actually experience it for real. Because I've obviously heard a million things from Avery and Simon and everybody who's gone over. Well, I could do it. Drop. Oh, too high. Well, yeah, it was really cool. I got off the train and had Seppo pick me up in Turku. And we had a little shindig after hanging out at his house. We went to a nightclub with some of the Finns that just played in the Turku Open. And it was just really cool being like the guy that everybody's like, how are you here? Why are you here? And I just was there because I asked if Seppo could bring me there and if I could come hang out with them. And it's as simple as that. I just asked. Come on. Oh, come on, just barely. As the week went on, I got to play the Beast. Finally met Jussi. First time ever meeting Jussi. And I don't know, it was just a really cool trip. I really, really hope that I can do it again, but Europe, I mean, I want to go to different countries next year though. I want to check out Norway, I want to check out Sweden. Oh, that's too straight. Yep, that's rock. Okay, on to the next one. We're here on hole 6. It is time to talk about season highlight number 2 of the year, which was none other than my win at Nantucket. Oh, that's got a chance. No, windy. Holy wind. Oh, not a bad shot. Parked. Nantucket, similar to the Majestic. Lots of history. I've played it before. Back when 2018, same thing. First time I played it. Best I had ever done was like, well, my first 2 tries I got like top 20. And then I got second place in 2021 to Paul Ulibarri. And Paul had already won the tournament before. It's the same kind of deal as Cale. Cale had already won the Majestic before. I lost to him. I had previously lost to Paul, who had won Nantucket before. Oh, the wind's keeping him up. Oh, maybe not. Whew, that was actually a great shot. Yeah, and it's really just as simple as like, who wants it more? Like, they had already won the tournament before and I hadn't, but somehow it was like, I need to want it more. And this year, coming back to Nantucket, it was the weekend before the USDGC, meaning I sacrificed practice time at the USDGC to play Nantucket. That's a good one. Oh, please do it. Oh no, had the height. And yeah, it poured rain all day long at Nantucket, at least the first round, and then the second round was just a slop fest. Windy as all freaking hell. And I battled against Paul Kranz on lead card and Steve Brinster and Kyle Moriarty. But what it ended up being was Josh DiBattista coming down the stretch from the chase card. Oh no, what is that? Yeah, the craziest thing is I was so worried about my competitors on lead card because I went into the second round leading by 1 over Paul. And then hole 18 came around and I was actually losing by 1 to Paul. I was under the impression that we were probably tied. I don't check scores. But then I seized the moment, unlike in 2021, and I got the birdie on 18. And Paul actually bogeyed. And at that time, I thought that that meant that I just won. But then I checked the scores right before I made my last putt, and Debo was shooting hot. And I had to go into a playoff against him. And Debo and I have had our history. We've definitely battled before plenty in the past. It's low, but it's got just too much hyzer. And I'm parking it, but not going in. I've never lost in a playoff before, so let's just say I felt pretty dang good going into it, especially having many battles with Debo before, some of them going his way, some of them going my way. Most of them going my way, thankfully. And he hit like a crazy good putt in the wind on hole 1 to extend the playoff, and then hole 2 I was able to birdie and take the win. But it didn't really sink in, it didn't really settle until I realized that I get a Nantucket jacket. That's short. Now I'm scared. I had texted Todd earlier in the year, I think it was like January or February, asking him what the date of Nantucket might be because I want to be able to make it if I can. And I told him that the Nantucket jacket holds one of the highest priorities for me. It's one of the trophies I want to win the most. And as soon as I tapped out that putt and we started walking back to Tournament Central, it started to hit me. And I just couldn't stop jumping up and down and screaming. Not really because like I got a birdie on hole 2 in the playoff. It was just because I got my jacket. And I felt like in 2021 I deserved the jacket. So I'm gonna try and take some of that juju from my comeback story from losing in 2021 to winning in 2023, and I'm gonna hopefully do the same for the Majestic. We're on the final hole, which brings us to the #1 highlight of my 2023 season, which was snagging a top 10 finish, as well as final round lead card appearance at Ledgestone. Oh yeah, look at that wind lift it. Nice. Ledgestone has always been an event that's kind of hot and cold for me. My first time there was at Worlds in 2019. Didn't really work out too well. Then 2021, I had a good showing. Last year, I didn't play great on Lake Eureka, but this year, it was Northwoods that really helped me jump up the standings. Come on. No way. I gotta cut that branch. You know, this is a brand new hole. I actually don't know if I've shown it on the vlog, but I love that pin placement under the tree. But I haven't decided if I want to cut those branches yet. And one thing about course design is you can never uncut a branch. So you got to play it a couple times to make sure that you truly do want to cut it. And after that shot I just threw right there, it's 100% getting cut. 4 rounds at Ledgestone. I shot 11 under par with a 7 under and a 4 under on Lake Eureka in the first and final round. And I shot 11 under par on Northwood Black with a 6 under and a 5 under in rounds 2 and 3. Oh, well, it's a birdie putt. And I think that just goes to show where I'm comfortable. It's not Lake Eureka, it's not in the park golf. It's in the tightest, most daunting wooded fairways that we have on tour. And the disc, I couldn't have done it without my C-Line CD2. This one exactly, I got it from Greg Barsby. And my Tiger Woods disc, I played with Matty O round 2. And my Horizon DD1, I was just absolutely filleting hyzer flips to turn over. And Matty O labeled it my Tiger Woods disc, but it just was a really special feeling to be on a course that I know I can play well and truly play at the top level with the best of them. Oh man, all right, we're getting tired. But regardless, I found myself on chase card for round 3 with Ricky, Chris Dickerson, and Andrew Marweed. And then the final round, we moved up to lead card, me, Ricky, and Marweed. And we were joined by Cole Redolin, who basically went wire to wire and took the thing down. However, this is my first lead card appearance. Well, my first lead card appearance since Champions Cup in 2022 at the Major, but I haven't made a final round lead card since 2021 Texas States. And you always need something like that to really remind you that you belong out there. That's Park Job Skywalker. Nice. And there's really just something to be said about one of those like emotional boosting tournaments like Ledgestone was for me, knowing I can play good at Northwood Black, executing, and even playing the final round at Lake Eureka. I didn't have a great round. I went bogey to finish with some bad luck on 18, but a 7th place finish really kicked my season into gear. I accounted for half of my points, my Pro Tour points, just in that one tournament. And it's, I don't know, it was really good timing. That's the one. That's the one. That's the one. That's the one. Oh, buddy. But yeah, that's just the way it goes. And it's funny that Ledgestone was the one, but it really got my season back on track. After the European Open, I went to Idlewild and cashed for the first time ever at Idlewild, and I went to D-Glow and got another top 25 for the 2nd year in a row. So it's definitely a little bit of a chain reaction, and that little bit of boost put some gas in the tank to finish out the season strong. But it has been an amazing season on the course, on tour with my friends, on the vlog, everywhere I've gone. But now it's a beautiful fall day here in Massachusetts, and I'm just so happy to be home. Playing putting league, Devon's league just finished up, and team challenge, just all the good things, getting to spend all the time with my family, my friends, my dog, my girlfriend. And just thank you to everybody who supported me along the way. I have no clue what my schedule is going to look like for next year. I'm obviously going to try and hit up the big ones, but I have to wait for the 8-tier schedule to come out to know just exactly what I'm planning to do. But that is going to do it for today's video, my top 5 highlights from the 2023 season. And thank you for joining me once again. Thank you for joining me all season. And the vlogs don't stop here. Obviously, we're going to keep filming. It's just, obviously my long travels are done for the most part, so I'm not going to be doing any crazy excursions to any hidden disc golf courses until the season kicks back up in Florida this year in February. So thank you for watching once again. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. And go get yourself a Skywalker. You're going to love it.